Not really.
I just want to talk to him.
Dad, this is ridiculous.
I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
Go fuck yourself.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
The team, go sports!
All right, can you just explain what's going on here?
Hi, thank you, I have no idea. Holy crap!
It was the spirit of Gonzo that led me down that slide to entertain the people. Are you not entertained by me doing my own stunts? It just went a little sideways as far as the last run down the slide, but I'm doing good, a little sore, but ready for some baseball.
Holy crap!
Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by FLURRY Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Bruner and the rest of the FLURRY Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. Happy championship weekend. As we've been doing for the past few weeks, we are going to be going over some Underdog DFS picks, some of the props over there, saying which ones we like best, which ones we do not. We've been pretty good. I've been profitable. I feel like the picks that we've been giving out have been pretty damn good over the past few weeks. And on top of that, if those aren't enough money-making tips for you, if you don't have an account on Underdog yet, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now, or you can just sign up, go to underdogfantasy.com, get the Underdog Fantasy app, use the promo code FLURRY, FLURRY, and that'll get you a $100 deposit match. So whatever dollar amount you put in, up to $100, you're going to double that money immediately. Then there's going to be all kinds of promos this weekend over on Underdog as well. So that's free money for you. There's also drafts and stuff like that. By the way, you can do drafts just for single games. You can do drafts for the whole weekend. You can do drafts or pick them for all kinds of sports. There's best ball golf going on right now. There's NBA, esports, all kinds of different esports over there. NHL, bunch of stuff. Bunch of college basketball as well. So if you're super into college basketball, I can only imagine that is good, easy money making contests over there, just because you have people like me entering it where it's like I'm kind of box score chasing over there, to be completely honest, for college basketball right now. So go over there, use the promo code FLURRY to sign up, double your first deposit, play all the promos this weekend, and you will get a bunch of picks for championship weekend on the stream as well. I'm Zach Bruner, Trevor Land to my right. Luke Reimer will be here very soon as well. And not that we're any too uptight, but I feel like with 2 games, we can be even more laid back tonight. We don't have a game to preview for Lombardi sweep immediately after this as well. So I feel like, we can feel it out. We can go to the chat where Randy and Stoof are already doing their thing. We are missing someone, Randy, and Trevor isn't in the hot tub. I do think we did. I'm not sure if we promised it during the FLURRY Sports stream that Randy's referring to, but we hinted at the very least, a not so subtle hint.
It's very unfortunate that we're talking about this now, because I think 3 years ago, my family actually did have a hot tub in the backyard, and that would have been very funny to just randomly pop in the chat and be like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
I mean, I feel like when you guys least expect it, we'll get a hot tub stream. I promise you that it'll happen during our existence here on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching it. And once you give up hope, once you think the dream is dead, you're going to get what you asked for, not necessarily what you want, but definitely what you deserve. we will.
There,
We will.
there may or may not be banana hammocks there. We can't say either way.
That is true. That is true. And again, hop in the chat if you're here. We're hanging out. We're gonna make some money together over on Underdog. We may stall a little bit until Luke gets here. We'll jump into it, of course, and it's more so previewing games, I feel like, than anything with these. But just looking at the chat. So Stoof, I might as well put this on the screen. I feel like we shouldn't hide this from anybody. If you learn to play trumpet, would you cry whilst you performest?
No.
I feel like this has to be a reference, right?
If I don't think so.
No?
Because if you do cry, then you can't bring in as much air into your lungs, and then you can't play the trumpet.
That's true. And I mean, that was my instrument of choice for the most part. Like, I play trumpet. And would you cry while you, I mean, I'm sure there was a single tear that came down at one point because it was just so goddamn beautiful. Like, it was hard for me. It even choked me up. So I suppose yes. And I do appreciate Randy for saying great podcast. I do want to start doing more live shows with it. Thoughts on maple bread? Never had it. I'm sure it's a banger. This is electric hot tub. Sounds dangerous. Any more tennis stories? Mostly just that one. I mean, for as epic, and I hate that word, but that's the only way to describe my tennis career. For as great as it was, there's a lot of highs. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows, I will say. And it was short-lived. It was a shorter career than you would think, I think. It was a couple months, though. I would say the amount of times I hit the courts. We went on tour, by the way. It wasn't just one court. Probably 20-ish times, which isn't a lot for a career, but it was enough.
It's too many where you question why you hit a court 20 times.
No. Once you get a whole crowd there, and
I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do.
Talk.
When
it's great.
When we get to 20,000 subscribers, we will have a tennis match. You know the match in golf. We're gonna do that with tennis. It's gonna be me, Zach, Luke, and probably maybe Janet or Jake. We'll pick one of the two. Which, if we want views, Janet. If we want shenanigans, Jake. You know.
Yeah, I will say it's unfortunate that my shoulder hasn't healed very much since then. We're talking about 10 years ago, and some would say actually playing tennis damaged my shoulder much worse than it should have. Like, if I didn't have a tennis career, I feel like there's a chance I still could have played football at one point. But you know, what you sacrifice for the love of the game. I say that to say I don't know how good I would be. It's been a while. Like I said, I still have the racket from those high school days.
Because here's what's gonna happen: we're gonna play about 2 points, and we're gonna be like, "Motherfucker, it's a lot of running. I don't want to do this."
That was one of the biggest surprises, I think, when I started. Way too much.
My buddies and I, me and the other two, we went to school like after school like the second day out, and we're like, let's play fucking tennis. And it was 90 degrees. We played 2 points, and we're like, fuck it, let's just hit the shit out of these and see how far we can hit them.
From my memory, it had to have been April and May because it was during track season. Has to have been the hottest April and May on record in Wisconsin. It felt hot. I don't know. Maybe it was the pressure of the crowds watching us. I'm not sure. And I am bringing excuses. I'll back up the game. I'm sandbagging everybody right now. You don't know. I got tennis in my blood, meaning my cousin was good at tennis, and I feel like I could figure it out. You know, can't be that hard. Cousin not being Jake, different cousin. Jake, I think, broke his hand once playing tennis.
How do you break your hand playing tennis?
Oh, no. It was volleyball, and not the way you would think. How would you think you would break your hand playing volleyball?
I would think the rational way would be he landed on it when he tripped, but knowing Jake, I want to say he got it stuck in the net and it broke.
Both good guesses. I believe he was chasing after the ball and ran into the wall and broke his wrist, I believe.
This man's made of paper mache.
He's broken both wrists multiple times, and yeah, it was one after another too. It was incredible. It was not great for anybody. If you could make your own candy, what would it be? That's tough. I don't even know. Like, where do you start?
Thank God Luke's here. Jesus. All right. Luke, we've been talking about dumb shit for 10 minutes. You got to save us. We got to make this fix.
I mean, do I need to circle back and go through tennis stories again? Because I can do it. I can talk
Like,
about the tennis career for...
Luke, I told the people that when we get to 20,000 subscribers, you, me, Zach, and either Jake or Janet are going to be doing a tennis match, like the match for golf.
Oh, boy. Sorry, I've been at the bar since 2:30.
Okay, great. Do you think... Have either of you played pickleball? I have not.
Hate it.
Is that... Hate it?
Hate it.
Like, do you like tennis and hate that, though, or no?
Hate it all. The only thing I like is ping pong.
Okay. That doesn't really answer the question I was going to ask, I suppose. Pickleball, less running, right? Smaller box?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that might be better, right? Can we still use... Is the racket smaller for pickleball?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's use tennis rackets still. But then let's Stoof's a pickle master. Okay.
I do like pickles.
I do too.
Great food.
Yeah.
Great food. Yeah. It's weird that you say pickles, everyone knows what you're talking about.
You know what?
But you can pickle anything.
Right. Like pickled cucumbers got the name pickles, but like pickle other things and they don't get the name pickles. What's up with that?
I don't know. My grandma calls anything that's pickled blank pickles, though. So like beet pickles, not pickled beets, which is wrong.
Right.
But she lived through the Depression and she could do whatever the fuck she wants.
Fair.
So
she lived through the Depression and COVID. Fair.
Yeah, exactly. Still kicking, still bitching about both. So I don't know if that's an old thing, but yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know pickles had balls, to be honest. Thank you, Stoof.
When I was in high school, it's when they first really introduced pickleball, and I'm like teaching them like, what the fuck is this? I still don't like it.
It's tennis for nerdy or unathletic people. That's what it is.
Correct, Trevor.
Isn't it essential? It's closer to badminton, isn't it, or no?
Yeah.
Well, it's still got the tennis element where you have to let it bounce and then hit it.
Yeah.
The only thing Go ahead.
Go on.
The only thing I truly know about it is John McEnroe hates it while also being the best at it, which is really fun.
Well, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed that. He was bitching the entire time while he won like $1 million. It was great. Great stuff.
That's called good content.
It is. And speaking of good content, we're doing it.
Hell yeah.
Welcome again. I might as well welcome you one more time because there's been a lot that's happened. Yeah, I guess Trevor number 2 is also on the show. Luke is Trevor. Trevor is also himself. Let's talk about championship weekend. And like I said, it's more so previewing the games than anything, I think. We can start with the AFC championship here, and we'll look through these underdog picks at the same time. But this is the game that kicks it off. We got Ravens, we got Chiefs. I believe pretty much confirmed from what I know, Joe Thuney is going to be out for the Chiefs, which is a pretty big loss.
It's going to be a rain game too.
Is it? I didn't even look at weather. I should have done that. Okay. So we got rain. We got a big loss on the Chiefs interior for running the ball. Isaiah Pacheco also beat up with a toe injury, I believe. And then we have possibly the 2 best pass defenses in the NFL. I would say at least 2 of the top 4, Browns and Jets mix in there. But both of them are very, very good at defending the pass as well. So theoretically, you will need to run the ball. Chiefs are struggling to run the ball without Joe Thuney probably. And the Ravens defense is just legit. I don't know. I think this is going to be a super close game regardless. Like, this feels like it's going to be for sure a 1-score game. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like it has to be close.
Agreed. Put a gun to my head. I'm picking the Ravens to win this game, but I agree with you 100%. It's going to be a close game.
Has to. But okay, so let's just think about this. Close game with the Chiefs, close game with the Ravens. Those kickers are going to be busy. They always are.
Both are incredible too.
Yeah, arguably two of the best kickers in the game. Justin Tucker, not arguable, I suppose, but Butker just as automatic this year. So even before we get to that, they're probably at the very bottom here. We'll scroll to them. I think both probably go over 1.5 field goals. I don't know what their kicking points are going to be, but
Yep.
They're going to be busy. They have to.
Butker's is 6.5, I believe, and I think Tucker's at 7.5, something like that.
So just saying that, I would prefer probably Butker's kicking points, and I would prefer Tucker's field goals.
Yep.
Just thinking that out. But yeah, we'll get to that. Let's start with the quarterbacks, though. We got two of the best in the game, both playing incredibly well. Chiefs passing offense, I think, is playing pretty good, to be completely honest. I think they'll probably get Sky Moore back this weekend as well. That'll be close for sure. Mark Andrews, I think, could be back for the Ravens as well. So definitely two possible target hogs coming out of nowhere. I didn't plan this one out as much as we have last few weeks. I don't know if I love any of these for Patrick Mahomes.
Nope. No, absolutely not. Even the passing touchdown, slick, wet game, slick footballs and receivers like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that's a match made in hell. So I don't even really like his passing touchdowns, completion percentage. All the lines just seem at a really good place right now. And, if you think the Chiefs are going to lose, then 26.5 rushing yards is great. But if you think they're going to win with some kneel downs at the end of the game, I don't like that either. So I'm staying off of Mahomes.
I was going to say, do you guys think that the Ravens' pass rush is good enough where he's going to get 26.5 rushing yards? I mean, how many times in the playoffs have we seen Mahomes rip a long run?
I think the biggest thing that hurts him is he doesn't like escape the pocket and goes for the long runs. He always goes on the interior.
Right.
And without Joe Tooney, I mean, that's going to be tougher.
Okay, fair.
That number is still at a point where we know he's going to have a big run. He's going to hit it or he's not. And that's stupid analysis, but that kind of truly is what it is. Like, he's going to be around that number. I don't know if he's going to be higher or lower. So I'm probably not taking that. I suppose if I have to take one of these, I may take the higher on half of an interception. I think there's a chance he gives the Ravens one.
I don't hate higher than 241 passing yards either, because like I said before, I think the Ravens win this game. I think Chase may be playing from behind a little bit in this game.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't know if that makes me like or dislike his passing yards more. I honestly don't know. I know what you're talking. Theoretically, you're correct.
Yeah.
But if the Chiefs are down, does that mean they're not able to pass? I don't know.
Do you think that Joe Tooney's enough to take the lower for 3.5, or to take the higher for 3.5 sacks taken?
2.5 sacks taken. I mean, he's pretty good at evading sacks and just getting the ball out. Honestly, yeah, because it's going to be, now I'm blanking on his name. It's like Madu Buike or whatever, the D tackle who's been insane this year. I mean, that's where the loss of Joe Tooney hurts in pass protection. He'll probably get one. Yeah, if I have to pick higher or lower, I would side with higher. I'm just not super confident in it.
Well, you don't love it.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it? Is 5 rushing attempts there?
Yep.
5,
I think I hate that, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too. And again, a kneel counts as one. But
I was going to say, if you think they win, he's probably going to have 2-3 kneels, then that line comes a lot lower.
For sure.
So realistically, it comes to about 3 rushing attempts. I still don't love that, to be honest.
No, I don't either. It depends on how, desperate they are. It depends on the defense that the Ravens play. If they're up, like, are they going to turn their back to Mahomes? Maybe not. I don't know. Again, he's going to run. He's going to be right around that number. I'm not confident enough. I don't think he fumbles, though. So
I agree with that.
That multiplier is really nice. I'm ignoring it. Can't do it. But Lamar also has the same. He has a multiplier on fumbles lost. He has a multiplier on 1.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, he should be able to pass for multiple touchdowns, but this feels like such a bait. Just because I know I know how good the Chiefs defense is, and no one's talking about it. Like, they're just as good as the Ravens defense.
I would agree with that. The one that I made money on last week was the rushing attempts, and that was set at 9.5. He worked hard for those 9.5. If you watch the game, I don't love 10.5 rushing attempts here. I might take the lower.
Lower is where I would go too.
I know it's bait. I'm still taking the over on the passing touchdowns. If Andrews wasn't here, I think that's a different story. I think he's going to play, right?
Yeah, correct.
I think so, yeah.
I think if the way I'm looking at it, I think Andrews catches one. They make a point to try to get him something. And so he has to get one more to a different receiver, 2, 5, and 2 last 3 weeks. Again, Kansas City, I think, is the best defense out of the bunch, which is crazy. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season saying that with San Francisco in there? But I think he can get 2. And I know it's a bait, but if that multiplier hits, you're going to feel kind of stupid if you don't pick it. And I can see why you wouldn't, but I don't want to be on that side of history.
That's fair. I'm looking at these. I think I may like the lower on pass attempts.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they have to run the ball. And I may like the lower on 68.4 completion percentage. That's pretty high. And again, Chiefs pass defense isn't getting any respect. Yeah. I mean, if he only passes the ball 25 times, it really doesn't take that many incompletions for him to get lower than that.
Yeah. Yep. I also don't hate lower than 10.5 passing first downs. Like Baltimore, the thing that they want to do is run the ball. Third and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, they're going to run the ball. How much do you trust a Nelson Aguilar and Odell Beckham, or even like Mark? I imagine Mark Andrews, like we said, he's going to play, but how much he's going to play? Do you trust Isaiah Likely to come up with first downs? I don't necessarily know. So just if you have to take one, I don't hate mine lower than 10.5 first downs.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
On top of that, I don't hate 2.5 sacks either, because Lamar in his career has shown he's taken sacks before. And like I said last show, Spagnuolo loves to blitz.
For sure. Yeah, he's not going to shy away from blitzing no matter who the quarterback is. He's going to blitz.
Was it last year or two years ago where it was that Raiders-Ravens Monday night game where the Raiders just blitzed every game and they got to Lamar easily?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if the Chiefs will be able to get to Lamar. Right. I really love the Ravens offensive line. I think they're extremely good, but they will be able to pressure Lamar in this game. Spagnuolo is going to do something he hasn't done literally the entire season. He has something in his bag he hasn't shown the entire year, and he's going to do it. They're going to blitz DBs as well. They're going to be good. They're going to get to him. So yeah, I don't mind that 2.5 sacks taken. And honestly, like, he takes coverage sacks too.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that at all, actually. Moving on to Gus Edwards. And maybe I'm putting too much stock into Dalvin Cook, but like, I don't know how you don't give Dalvin Cook more touches now. I thought he looked pretty good until he just decided to try to lose yards at the end of last game for some reason. But receiving yards, you're almost never taking with Gus Edwards, I think.
Yeah.
Rushing yards, I think the number's too perfectly placed. I'm probably not taking it. I don't mind going rushing touchdowns, but even then, probably not going to do it. I mean, instead of going rushing touchdowns, by the way, unless you're going for the multiplier, whatever, that's fine. Take the fantasy points. Yep. I mean, that's 6 already. He just needs 14 yards, and he's got it. So that's the play.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. I mean, that multiplier, again, it's bait, but if I'm taking a 1.25 times multiplier, I'm putting it on Lamar's shoulders instead of Gus Edwards when you're looking at that backfield with Justice Hill. He's also in there. And Dalvin Cook, like you said, is probably going to get more carries. I think he had 8 and Gus Edwards had 10 last week. So, I mean, it's pretty much an even split between those two as it was. I think it will go more in Cook's favor. So I don't think there's any reason to touch Edwards here.
Well, even on top of that, Justice Hill started the game last week.
And looked good.
Yeah. Like, Justice Hill had, 10 for 40 last week? 3.5 is just out of my realm. Like, can he get a 4-yard catch? Absolutely. Am I expecting him to get a 4-yard catch? No. So I don't think I'm touching that. I don't really think I want anything to do with Gus Edwards, right?
Probably not. And I guess he did get a catch last week, -1 yard. So, I mean, that's Gus Edwards' line. Good for him. I love Gus, but like, he's not a receiver. We don't need to play that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Zach. If you want to take anything, if you're taking anything from Gus Edwards, probably say higher than 7 point, the fantasy points.
100%. 100%. Pacheco again, hurt toe. Rushing yards are probably going to be impacted a little bit because of the team they're playing, because of no Joe Thuney. If I am taking any of these, again, you can go with fantasy points if you think he's going to score a touchdown. I'm sure there'll be a touchdown projection at some point this week as well. But the 17.5 receiving yards really isn't that bad. I think Jerick McKinnon's still out. Him and Clyde should both see, around 3 receptions in this game, I would think.
Probably, right?
Yeah. And I mean, and they've used them. They're not afraid to use them. They've had the past 2 games in control for the most part. Buffalo, I mean, it is what it is. They're really covering it. But like Cincinnati, they're not afraid to throw to them. 7 catches right there. So I prefer yards to receptions for sure.
Yeah.
But
Zach, I 100% agree. I think I said last week, like, this is probably the best, the most relied on running back, I should say, since, Kansas City's been in this 6 straight AFC Championship run here. Like, Pacheco's a guy for them. I think probably next to Mahomes, he's probably the guy that makes the offense go. I don't hate the rushing yards or receiving yards here.
I'm probably staying away from rushing for the reasons I said, but he's consistently hit it, right? I mean, when he plays, he gets the carries and he'll run through people. But I mean, he may meet his match because as angry as Pacheco runs and as pissed off as he plays, every single player on the Ravens defense plays just as pissed off. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm going to go, if I had to do something, receiving yards as well. I'm probably not going to touch it just because I think there are some other players that are fully healthy and have better lines. But, outside of the playoffs when they've been in control, they haven't, really needed him. But, in the games where they, were kind of in a dogfight, they love checking it down to him. Pretty much, I think he got 3 receptions or more in 4 straight games near the end of the year. So he's going to get that. He's going to get the receiving yards too. So you might as well take the yards.
Fair enough. We got Rashee Rice, who is definitely balling right now. Again, Ravens, one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. I don't know what I love here, to be honest. First downs is intriguing. But I don't have a strong lean on any of these, to be honest. Do you guys?
No, and I think it's the same thing as kind of Edwards here. I know the multiplier's a little nicer, but if he gets a rushing or reception touchdown, you're taking his fantasy points. I know it's not full PPR, it's half PPR, but if you think he's going to score a touchdown, that's 6 right there. You don't think he can get 3 catches for 30 yards with that or whatever he needs, so I'd probably take the fantasy points here if you think he's going to score. Outside of that, I'm good because I think he ends at 6 receptions, if not 5.
Yeah, Trevor, I 100% agree with you. I don't hate the rushing plus receiving touchdown. To me, who's going to score if it's not Rice? It's going to be Kelsey or Pacheco. Given the Ravens, ability to stop the run this year, kind of feels like they might have to pass the touchdown. Then you kind of give a 50-50 split between Rice and Kelsey, maybe more of a 60-40. Keon and Kelsey. I think Rice is a guy. I don't hate it, especially with the multiplier this week.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think the touchdown he scored last week, it was like a short little pass. He just did basically everything after the catch from my memory, which I think that bodes well in a matchup against the Ravens. I don't think he's going to be wide open downfield very often, but he's the guy, let's get a rhythm going on the offense. They're just going to find ways to get him the football. So yeah, I don't hate it at all. This doesn't say what his targets are, does it? Yes, 4, 12, 6. In my heart, I feel like he gets around that 8 targets. I think he's going to be busy. I just don't know if he's going to go for very much. I don't know. I don't know. Zay Flowers. Fucking love Zay Flowers. He's a dog. That being said, I don't like his receptions. I don't like his targets. If I'm taking anything, it's his rushing and receiving yards higher. But I don't have a. I mean, maybe I'll take the lower on fantasy points. To be honest, I don't think he scores.
Well, like, how do you predict that Zay Flowers is going to score, and you can't predict that Odell or Nelson Aguilar is going to score?
Right, and he's just not a touchdown guy.
No, I mean, he's not a guy, if you're putting a 5 leg, even with insurance, he feels like a very, 50-50 shot, even on good lines, that he's not going to hit it. That can ruin it. And I mean, that basically makes sure you have to go 4-4 on the other parlays. And I mean, he doesn't really get rushing work either. I know it's only within a yard, but, I don't think there's anything tantalizing there for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trevor. Nothing that you're taking Zay Flowers, you feel like you're beating the system here.
No, for sure not. Yeah, if I had to take one, I'm probably going lower fantasy points, but I'm probably not going to do it, at least not very often in my entries, just because I really like Zay Flowers. So I'd like to cheer for him.
He is a good
I don't
player.
really want to. I don't want to cheer against him. Not at all.
Before we move on, is the consensus in the United States cheering for Baltimore?
Yeah.
Like out of the 4 teams to win the Super Bowl?
No, I mean, to win the Super Bowl, I would say Detroit.
Okay. Yeah. I think Baltimore's second, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I would assume for the people like who are you cheering for, I would say it's probably Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, then the Niners.
Okay.
Niners are the ultimate villains. Rightfully
Which
so.
is
And they'll
crazy.
be bigger villains if they beat Detroit.
Which is crazy because they haven't won a Super Bowl in a while. So it's not like oh, you've won 3 of 5. I mean, that's kind of like what the Chiefs are, but they're still loved more than the 49ers.
I don't know. I just realized after, like, when I was watching the Lions Tampa game, I'm like, I'm going to be pissed if it's Chiefs Niners again in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's for sure the worst option. But the only reason they do that is so the Chiefs are babyface again. People are, wanting to cheer for Kelsey, wanting to cheer for the Taylor Swift thing, blah, 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 blah. Because, no one's going to root for San Francisco.
Fuck no.
Kyle Shanahan's so unlikable.
I mean, I will say I'm rooting for them over Detroit, but fuck no for the Super Bowl.
Fair enough. But we got Travis Kelce here. A little bit of a quiet game last time just because I feel like he didn't really have to do much. Buffalo also made the point to double him. I don't know if Baltimore is going to double him, at least very often. I like the higher on receiving yards. I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Correct.
First downs, he doesn't get that many of. So
no.
I was baited into that a couple weeks ago, actually. Don't fall for that, I don't think.
Can I ask you this before we move on?
Yeah.
Does a touchdown count as a first down?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, Zach. I mean, he didn't have that much work last week. He had 5 catches for 75. Week before against Miami, 7 for 71, 61.5. I mean, that's got to be the easiest one out of this whole bunch that we've done and probably that we're going to see in this entire game. I don't know why that line's still low, but I'm taking it.
Yeah.
It has to be respect to Baltimore. It has to be.
Yeah. To add on to that, Trevor, I don't hate over 11 or 11.55 fantasy points either.
I don't either.
No, because I just assume he's going to score a touchdown.
Right.
Yep.
I assume if he doesn't score a touchdown, he gets 90 yards, and you have to have 11 points by then.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, just go back and look at all of his postseason games. I mean, he's pretty much a lock for like around 70-plus yards. Mark Andrews, it's currently at touchdown and 35.5 receiving yards. I could go look. Maybe I will after this. I can only assume the Mark Andrews 2 times scorcher here for touchdowns is going to be very popular among people. I'm not a Mark Andrews fan, so I'm probably not going to play it. But I mean, there's no doubt he's going to be the receiving go-to guy in the red zone.
Yeah, Zach, I agree with you. Like, and maybe I'm off on this, but I think likely might be just as good, if not better, than Mark Andrews at the tight end position. But if they're going to throw to anyone who's healthy, why wouldn't it be Mark Andrews?
Fair. I don't know if we got anything. I mean, practice in full. He's going to play. I'll find out if he has a pitch count. I'll find out, and if he's going to be on a pitch count, I'll say something in the comments of this video because I can find this out.
Yeah, if he's not, I'm taking the receiving yards for sure. The Scorcher's nice. I want to pick it. But, I mean, receiving yards just seems a lot more like a given, knowing who he is as a player and as a threat.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like receiving it, he's going to be around there. He should go over it. He should go over it. I just don't think he's going to come in and be like super busy Mark Andrews from 3 years ago. Like even the start of this year, he wasn't that good. People forget.
No, people are just riding that Mark Andrews incredible year when Lamar had his MVP year and are saying that he's one of the best tight ends in fantasy football, which he's not.
No. Good blocker, pretty good receiver. I mean, he's a top 10 tight end by default, but yeah, he's not going to come in and be like the wide receiver one essentially as he was before.
Stu's saying that Andrews is going to score 4 touchdowns.
I mean, if that's the case, the 1 touchdown's a pretty good block. You know,
imagine Stu could get that for 8 times.
That would be pretty incredible. I mean, you may as well sign up with promo code FLURRY and then just lock this bitch in, you know? Justice Hill, I feel like I love this weekend, to be honest.
Do you?
I think so. I think I love his receiving yards at 11.5. That feels like a lock.
Yep.
And I don't hate the 2.5 receptions.
He had 11. I think he had 11 last week.
On 2 catches, yes.
Yeah. Well, while the Ravens pulled their guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, it feels like a lock.
Like I said, he started last week as the number 1 running back for Baltimore.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, his Scorcher's at 2.5 receptions. Even if he just gets 2, 6 yards a reception, I mean, that is nothing for a receiver.
And like I said before, like Spagnuolo's going to come with a blitz. You have to imagine Harbaugh's going to dial up at least 1 screen this game, right?
Yeah, multiple. But and then, you know, like you said, he started last game. He got 10 carries, 13 carries. His rushing attempts is at 7.5.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he can go higher on a lot of these. I wouldn't take his touchdowns. I wouldn't take his fantasy points.
It's at least 3 on the first drive.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say my confidence level would be receiving yards, receptions, and then rushing attempts, but I like them all.
Yeah, I agree. I think Justice Hill is a play this week. Other than touchdown, I think any of these kind of play.
Yeah, I think so. Odell, quieter last week than I would have liked. He was the reason why I lost a lot of entries, but big game, must-win game. I would assume the Ravens have to pass more than they did last week. I don't hate the 20.5 receiving yards.
I don't either. It feels like he can take 1 for 21 at least.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why he wasn't played that much last week.
They didn't need him.
No, but even early, like first half, it was tied. I feel like he should have been busier, and that's kind of a red flag to me. But maybe they were just so confident they would beat Houston, rightfully so. I don't know.
Come on, Harbaugh, just throw him a slant and let him run.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm staying off of him just because I think there are a lot of guys, you know, when you put in the kickers and stuff, like if we're making multiple parlays, I think there are a lot of better lines. You know, talking about Justice Hill, you could use 3 of them. I'm probably staying away from him, but I don't even think 2 receptions is bad either. No, because at least you can push on that. So,
right.
The thing is, if he gets 1 reception on the first down, you have to root for 1 reception. 2 receptions the rest of the game. 1's a push, you know.
How often? I mean, there's one instance right there, I guess. I was going to say, how often has Odell caught 2 passes and not gone for over 20 yards?
Right.
That's fair.
There's one right there. So, bad example. But in theory, I feel like it takes possibly 1 catch to hit that. If he gets 2, he should hit the over on that. But we'll see. Noah Gray is always on the field because he's a good blocker. So I don't hate his yards. I wouldn't take the receptions, but I don't hate his yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
It's not an exciting one.
No, I agree. That's why I'm hesitating here. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Miko Hardman.
Nope.
All right.
Just no. Let's go to Noah Gray or Justin Watson.
I feel like if we're talking about Miko Hardman, you guys have any strong thoughts on the touchback from fumble rule?
Stop being a bitch. Yeah. It's a great rule.
I agree. Did you guys think that the other team should get at the 20? Or the 25 or whatever they get it?
They get at the 20.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't hate, if you want to debate, it should be closer to their end zone, fine.
Like, I've seen the argument that they should get it where Miko Hardman fumbled there, they should get it at like the 2-yard line.
That's bad. That makes no sense.
All right, I'm with it.
Yeah, that like punishes that team almost.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm going to take the higher on Miko Hardman receiving yards. I am
too. I think.
Don't do it.
So.
It's not the week to get off of him. Andy Reid doesn't shy away from people who make mistakes.
There's a reason they brought him back.
They've tried to get him the ball for big plays both games now. I told you they want to get him the ball. Yep. It's just they finally got him the ball this past weekend and he almost fucked him. Yep. But now he knows he owes the team.
Well, they've shown, like, after Kadarius Toney had his horrible game one, they kept going back to him. They're going to go back to Mecole Hardman.
Oh, for sure. They need Mecole Hardman in this game. Because if the Ravens can just get comfortable and not cover the overtop, then the Chiefs are fucked up regardless.
And Kyle Hamilton's playing the run. There's a chance to beat the Ravens deep. For sure. We've seen that every year. There's always a busted coverage from one of their safeties. So, yeah. It's not a safe pick, but I love it. I love it.
Don't start this.
I mean, he has to be on the field. They need a burner, and he's their burner.
Yep. Kadarius Toney over under 3.5 touchdowns. I'm thinking the over.
For sure. What a fall from grace, man. Like, what is Kadarius Toney going forward? What is he?
Why is he not the punt returner?
That's for sure. That's true. Again, it comes down to trust. That's why he's not.
Don't throw him the ball. Hand him the ball. He'll make a play.
Honestly, I mean, we did this in high school a few times. Actually, you know what? I did this with the semi-pro team too. We had 2 returners. We need one guy to fucking catch the ball, and then the other guy's electric with the ball in his hands. So then he did a little fake in the essentially the backfield. So like you have the 2 returners cross, and then you'll give it sometimes, or you'll fake it.
Yep.
And then the coverage doesn't know where to go. That's what they should do with Mecole Hardman.
Yep.
Or not Mecole, they should do with Hardman and Kadarius. That'd work.
He's just too electric to not get the ball in his hands, but you cannot get the ball in his hands. It's crazy.
I know. Quite the conundrum.
Fuck. Just put him on running back.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Is he going to line up in the right spot? We don't fucking know.
Shit.
It's insane. Justin Watson with Sky Moore coming back.
Hate them all.
Hate him.
He will for sure see the field because Mahomes loves him. What I think the play here, though, is probably the lower on 3 targets.
Probably. I agree. Like, Justin Watson's not getting targets over Travis Kelce or Rashee Rice.
Or probably Sky Moore. Even the running backs.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm going if I take him. Again, I don't have like Mecole Hardman level of confidence in him, but I don't mind the lower there. Rashad Bateman, pretty quiet last game as well. I mean, 3 for 39, I guess. It's not like he's been loud all year. But like I said, I think the Ravens pass a little bit more. I feel like they have to. Chiefs are super good against the pass, but I don't hate the 23.5.
What did he have last week? I'm sorry, you pulled that up already.
39.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I think in order for this Ravens offense to work, it's either the running back gets going or Lamar spreads the ball out, kind of what we saw with Jordan Love and the Packers. And I think Rashad Bateman's probably somewhat of a part of that. So I don't hate the receiving yards. I think he sees at least 2 or 3 targets this game.
Yeah, I think it's far from a lock, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm taking the rush plus receiving. He's done it most of the time to end the year. So NL playoffs obviously different, but they got to pass it. And I mean, 23.5 receiving yards with him. Lamar can connect with him on one pass for 25 yards easy. He kind of reminds me of OBJ in that way. So I'm taking him over.
Kickers we already talked about. I like the over on both field goals, but I would go with kicking points for Butker. I'd go field goals for Tucker.
Yeah, I think the money to be made here this week, especially on this game, is the kickers.
May as well lock this in before they do anything, to be honest.
Boom.
Okay.
So you said Butker for points and Tucker for field goals, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Isaiah Likely, I can't imagine we're taking a touchdown for him.
It's hard to predict with Andrews coming back.
Yeah, I mean, even regardless.
If Andrews wasn't here in the 2.75, I like it a little bit more, but nothing crazy here.
Fair enough. I don't mind Aguilar 15 receiving yards.
Agreed. Like I said, how do you predict who's going to be the guy between Aguilar, Flowers, and Beckham?
But again, 1 catch, 2 catches. He's been pretty good. MVS.
I'm taking the under on targets, lower.
I kind of want to take the higher on receiving yards. Like he kind of.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Again, I guess I kind of forgot he was on the team when I was talking about Mecole Hardman, to be completely honest. But they need a burner. It's going to be him and Hardman. And, in these big moments, he did it in the playoff run last year. He did it last week again. They're going to get him the ball. Will he catch it? Who knows? But I think they're going to target him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm staying away.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm confident. Justin Reed, I never play.
Stoof is saying MVS had the best game of his career, so he's dropping passes this week.
Fair. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not taking Justin Reed just because I don't love when they go solo tackles and assist. I like the combined when I play.
Yep.
So I'm not taking that. Nick Bolton should go over 9 tackles and assists, I would say.
So do you think Nick Bolton's going to play the spy of Lamar?
No.
Or is it going to be Willie Gay?
I don't know if they do it.
Interesting.
I think they're. I shouldn't say that. I think they don't do the prototypical quarterback spy.
Okay.
I would say it's a by committee effort.
Okay. So that doesn't influence you at all if you're making these picks?
No.
Okay.
No, it does not. But Ravens, we know, want to run the ball. They want to go north and south between the tackles. And whether it's that or it's throwing to the tight ends, I guess, or the running backs, I feel like Nick Bolton's going to be there.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk.
Yeah, he's great. McDuffie, he had a pretty good game last week, didn't he? 4 tackles, 6 tackles. Again, don't hate it, but I don't have a ton of confidence in it.
I agree. I feel like they kind of force the ball a little bit to Stephon Diggs here, and that kind of helps with his tackles, especially on that first drive.
For sure. And Snead, I'm not taking. If he does his job, he probably won't get very many tackles. Kyle Hamilton, what did he have last week? 3.57.
I know he had 0 last week. I kind of love the 1.5 assists. Like Kansas City wants to get Pacheco going.
Yeah. I don't have any confidence level. That's the side I would take.
Although I should say I did take Kyle Hamilton over tackles and assists last week, and he didn't hit it.
No, I mean Texans struggled to keep the ball in play though.
It was 5, and he got 3.
Yeah. I mean, I if I have to take a side on both of these, it would go higher for both. But
yeah, okay, I'm with it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm not taking Marcus Williams whatsoever.
Fuck that guy.
Between the 2 linebackers here, it's always a little bit difficult. I think it was Patrick Queen last week that went off. 7 for Roquan, 5 for Queen. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know then. Like I kind of like both, but they're If I have to take one, I'd go Queen.
Yeah,
But
I agree. This would be so much easier for Ray Lewis to still in the Ravens.
a lot of things would be, yeah. For sure. Manu Buike, again, I think I like that. I think I like
I agree.
Sack.
It's Tooney's out for sure.
Yeah, I was wondering about obviously his sacks is a nice little boost there, but with the sacks, tackle and assist as low as 2.5, is that something you're also looking at, or because that line is so small, or is that one of those trap ones like with Lamar?
I almost never play interior defensive lineman tackle. Well, I don't really play defensive line tackles at all because I don't play the premier edge rusher tackles ever, so I won't take it. I don't know. I don't know how much they feed Pacheco. I really don't. They're going to try. They're going to try to start. I think they get away from it.
Okay.
I just believe in the Ravens' ability to stop the run.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Theoretically, the Chiefs aren't going to go away from it because they have to keep the defense honest. But what they'll do is they'll tweak it and just do the extended handoff thing where they just throw it to the running backs.
Okay. Even like Kelsey. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we'll see. The Chiefs want to run the ball. They're not going to continue to do it if it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys agree. I've said it a couple times. It just feels like Pacheco's the most relied on running back they've had in how many years now?
I agree, but he's banged up and their best offensive lineman's out.
Yeah, you're right.
Imagine if they had taken Jonathan Taylor, eh?
I don't know. Then they have his stupid ass agent around, and that's not good for anybody.
Imagine if the Packers traded Christian Watson for Jonathan Taylor.
No shit, dude. We can't do that trade. That's too much.
Right. That's too much.
Clowney's been balling. I like what he's doing, so I don't hate the sack, but I'm not gonna.
I hate both of these.
Yep.
I just want to bring up, is Clowney a bust as a number 1 overall pick?
I don't think so.
Okay. I've been at the head of saying that he's a bust.
I mean, to be an edge rusher and to still be playing in the NFL, period.
That's fair.
I think it's good, and he's still performing.
Yeah.
He's just kind of been an unlikable douche for most of his career.
Yeah.
Which I think is,
I guess my thought process was kind of that, like, if you're a number 1 pick as a pass rush, you have to be Myles Garrett.
Should be. I think he was overdrafted.
Okay. All right. We can agree on that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say bust.
Okay.
Oway, I assume we're ignoring.
Yep.
Stevens, Van Noy, Travis Jones. Love Travis Jones. Wish the Packers took him. Yeah, I'm ignoring them all, I think.
Yep.
So I need one last leg, guys. Who are you going to? MVS 13.5 rush plus receiving yards, or Aguilar 14.5 rush or receiving yards?
I would go Aguilar, or I'm kind of just sitting here. I'm kind of talking myself into Van Noy a little bit.
Really? Well, I guess at 1.5, I don't hate it.
Well, he's also going to be on fucking Jawan Taylor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, who...
Jawan Taylor might be the worst right tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, he's not very good. Not great. But yeah, otherwise, I assume you have Mecole Hardman locked and loaded?
No.
Oh, lock that up.
Fine.
You won't regret it. What's he...
half receiving yards or 12.5 rush plus receiving yards?
Rush plus receiving. He's going to get an end around for sure. Like they have to.
All right.
Okay.
Why am I doing this?
I don't know.
Because you'll win.
There we go.
Okay. Let's cruise through Lions Niners.
13.5 is a lot of passing first downs.
That is a lot. Niners do like to force everything underneath, and they'll kind of give it to you, though. Obviously, the Lions' offensive line's banged up right now as well. So I don't hate the lower on completion percentage. 68's pretty fucking high. That's a good game.
Yeah. Do you guys think Detroit wins this game?
They'll have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they do, but they have a shot.
Now, with Detroit's offensive line, are you thinking lower completion percentage over 2.5 sacks taken.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jared Goff will take an intentional grounding like it's candy. You know, he's fine with it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why it would make you want to take the lower and half a rushing yard.
No, do not take that.
Do not do it.
What did he run for last week? He had a couple runs. 6 yards. You're
That's
taking
not
it 3 the
gonna
week
happen.
before. I don't know.
I don't.
This is,
If you lose on a half rushing yard again with Flacco and Goff, you can't live with yourself.
I lost a fucking 5-legger on Joe Flacco under half rushing. Oh, fuck. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
don't
right.
do it again.
You're right.
They're
had
going to have a
6
Jared Goff tush push.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they may. But
No.
he had 6 last week with Niels. So he had like 10.
I want it so bad, guys.
Can't
Don't do it.
Can't do it.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what else I like in here though.
What is it? 23.5 completions? I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I think San Francisco kills Detroit in this game. So I think Detroit plays from behind all game.
Maybe. I don't know how San Francisco kills them though.
Like Detroit,
Yeah.
they're just going to run all over them.
Detroit's good at stopping the run. That's the only thing they're good at defensively.
I don't know about that.
There's out of the 3 defensive so top 5 defenses against the pass, 3 of them are still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
1 defense is the 3rd worst against the pass and that's left, and that's Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit can't cover worse shit.
Okay.
Now, does it feel like Brock Purdy could have like a very good game and all the stupid ass Brock Purdy defenders be like, see, we told you?
Yes, it certainly does.
Yeah, like that's very much possible. But
Cameron
maybe
Sutton
Dan
was getting hosed last week.
maybe Dan Campbell exposes him, and that would be my dream.
All I'm saying is when we went to that Detroit game, I bet Jared Goff first touchdown, and they had 1st and 1 from the goal line, and they did not sneak Jared Goff.
They did not. I mean, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I don't think. But man, he'll run. He'll run.
No, I'm taking the under. I'm doing it. Fuck you guys.
I do like his fumbles lost too.
Maybe.
I'm not
To be
picking it,
honest, the Niners pass rushers are kind of posers.
Yeah, I agree, Zach. I do agree.
I don't think Chase Young's that good.
No.
Nick Bosa's done nothing all year.
Nick Bosa is definitely not a top 5 player in this league right now.
I'm afraid of Hargrave. He's a dog.
Sure.
Javon Hargrave is good.
Yeah, but the ends I'm not that afraid of right now.
No, I agree with you.
And Armstead is still hurt. He's not playing that well.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to get a rushing yard.
Yes, he will. He's going to have all the time in the world. They're going to part the Red Sea for him, and you're going to be yelling, no, Jared, no. And he's going to scamper for 5, slide down, and then signal the first down. You're going to be like, fuck Jared Goff.
It's so much more fun to take higher on a half rushing yard.
I know, but it's so awesome when it hits under half a rushing yard.
It's not.
It is.
It's also when you hit it with Niels.
I'm telling you.
Fun.
Everyone tune in who's listening right now for Lombardi. So we're going to ask Janet. She's going to make my decision tomorrow.
She's not on this week.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like don't do it. Even if it hits, do you feel that good about?
I feel great.
Let's move on.
All right.
You know what?
Yes.
Oh, it's 7.5. They're doing this again. He hit it last week too, didn't he?
Yeah, he got 8-9 on one rush.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I have to do it.
He got 9 on one rush, and everyone's saying this is why Brock Purdy's good because he got a 9-yard gain on 2nd and 10 when the 49ers were in crunch time. Like, fuck you. You don't know anything about Purdy.
No, I don't.
Speaking of which, his touchdowns and rushing and reception touchdowns is absolutely bonkers. Do not fucking bet that.
I don't hate the passing. Like, I mean, Detroit's not good against the pass.
Do we think that Deebo Samuel is going to play?
It feels like he is, right?
I agree. Like, how can you not play this game?
Yeah. I think he could be limited for sure, but I think he plays. Otherwise, I mean, I kind of want to take the lower on completion percentage out of spite, but once again, Detroit's not very good against the pass. They're better with CJGJ in there, but they're still not great.
I think I'm taking over 2 sacks. I think that's very low. I think Hutchinson has to get 1.
No.
Does he?
No.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't think so.
I don't think Purdy gets touched in this game.
No. Who else? Name one other defensive lineman on Detroit.
Does it have to be this year?
No.
I can say Snacks Harris until the cows come home.
Okay, fine. I'm not afraid of him generating a pass rush. Like they're just gonna key on Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why Tampa did it, but they did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And McCaffrey's good enough to pick up pass rush. So is Elijah Mitchell. Like they'll be fine against Hutchinson.
Kittle's gonna fucking chip him every time.
Yeah, and plus Kittle.
Yeah, and if Kittle chips you, like you're on your ass.
I really want to do Purdy fumbles. That 3-time multiplier is so sexy.
That's worse than lower than half a rushing yard for Jared Goff.
You could pair them. If you really hate these quarterbacks, you can go 9x. I'm not doing that. That's a waste of money. I'll take Mecole Hardman every day, but I can't do that. Gibbs, I suppose I would go receiving yards if I did one. I just don't trust him.
No.
Is 9.5 rushing yards too low? Or attempts, too low?
Depends on, you said you thought Detroit's going to get swamped.
Okay, that's all right. I agree. Okay, yep. You're right. I'm taking the lower then.
What did you do last week?
9.
9 and 8.
Yeah. I'm not taking any of these.
I'm taking lower on rushing attempts.
I think I like receiving yards higher best, but I don't mind the lower on rushing attempts at all. Last week we really liked Christian McCaffrey's receptions. Are we feeling that again?
Always.
I think so too. Do you like receptions or targets more?
Yards?
I would go receptions over receiving yards for sure.
What is it? Targets 5.5?
Yeah.
And targets is 4 or reception is 4.5. Like targets, of course.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how many of his targets he doesn't catch, but
it has to be more than receptions.
Jesus, look at this. Receiving yards, he's gone under this total 3 straight games.
Yeah. That's what I was looking at. That's why I was thinking receptions.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't hate the rushing yards over, even though I do think Detroit's pretty good against the run, but I still don't hate that. I would assume pretty big Christian McCaffrey game. Again, I'm fantasy points as well. Feel free. Have at her.
You guys see that McCaffrey is the first player since Emmitt Smith to lead every week in rushing?
For their team?
He had the most yards in the NFL, rushing every single week this year.
Oh. I guess it's not surprising. It's weird that no one else has done that, I guess, though.
Yeah. Like, it feels like LT would have did it in his big year, or Sean Alexander, even Derrick Henry.
Peterson.
Eddie Lacy.
Ryan Grant. All right.
Sam Gatto. It's crazy. Amon Ra. I feel like he could get a bunch of receptions this game.
Like, he's the guy on third and long. Like, 5 first down doesn't seem unattainable.
No. Do you like 5 first downs more than 7.5 receptions, though?
Well, it comes back to, like we talked about last week, right? That Jordan Love can kind of not expose, but he can take advantage of that San Francisco zone. Like, it feels like Amon-Ra is the perfect receiver to take advantage of San Francisco's zone defense, right?
I agree. I'm just not convinced first downs is safer than receptions.
You're right. 7.5 feels like a lot, no?
Getting 6 first downs is a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I was looking at. I think, am I wrong to think 10 targets is the safest out of those?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, 14, 9, 10 for targets, 8, 7, 7 for receptions.
And it's a round number, so that helps.
That's true. I think I still like receptions more, but I think all in play. I don't know if I'll ever take a first down prop again.
No.
To be honest. I can't do it. Stoof says, unfortunately, McCaffrey gets hurt early this week, but the Niners will still win. So big media day is, will Christian McCaffrey play? And then he does. Super Bowl is just fine. if Stu's giving 49ers predictions, I mean, we saw his Ronnie Bell one earlier in the year.
Dude,
I tend to believe him.
When the San Francisco 49ers were jerking off McCaffrey in that game, I thought Green Bay had it in the bag.
Yeah, that fucking weirdo, definitely not trainer guy.
Right, yeah.
Like, what was that?
Yeah, crazy.
Weird.
And the Packers did Packers things.
Yeah, it felt like McCarthy was coaching the game again. We'll talk about that next show.
Yes. Kittle.
I like the touchdown. I'm going to be honest.
I do too. I don't know why there's no multiplier, though.
Yeah, that makes me think that he's going to score.
I think he has to get a multiplier on it at some point this week.
Okay. All right.
But I don't hate that for sure.
Are you guys thinking his receptions or receiving yards?
I like receiving yards over receptions.
I mean, he breaks tackles, so I like receiving yards more.
Yeah. Yeah. It does feel poetic if the Dan Campbell coach defense all of a sudden is the bad tackling team and that's his demise, and it kind of is a direct shot in the heart to him. I feel like that could be possible. Unfortunately. I don't know. We'll see. Brandon Ayuk, I feel like should go bananas in this game. Am I frozen?
Like, probably, right?
Okay. Yeah, he has to.
I love Brandon Ayuk if Debo does not play, but I imagine by the time we hear Debo news that Brandon Ayuk's, is going to be upgraded. But if you have a strong opinion of Brandon Ayuk of Debo not playing, I love higher than 5 receptions, to be honest.
Yeah. Receptions or yards, I like them both.
Yeah. I think receptions for me is the biggest one.
Do you guys think that Brandon Ayuk is the best receiver on San Fran? Because I do.
Yeah. He's the most technical for sure.
Yeah.
Remember when he was in the doghouse and wouldn't see the field like 2 years ago?
I mean, there's a lot that went into that.
Do you remember that touchdown he had where he jumped over that guy? That was awesome.
That was awesome. I will say, I think Ayuk rightfully in the doghouse. Fantasy people will say otherwise, but, that's why they're fantasy analysts. And then there's football people.
They're called experts, Zach.
They do call themselves experts. Montgomery, do we like any of this?
I think if you're... I don't hate... just with the multiplier, I don't hate 1.25 for a touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't hate the receptions.
Maybe.
Why the fuck did they bring in Craig Reynolds last week?
I don't know. That's
such
a good
touchdown. I love Craig Reynolds. I thought, I don't know. I don't know why. I thought it was Josh Reynolds. I fully forgot Craig Reynolds is on the team. I'm like, oh my God, he did it again. What? No.
Trevor, what did you say you like? The receptions?
Yeah.
You don't like receiving yards more? Not to put you on the spot, but
I mean, receptions has a multiplier.
Okay.
But...
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not touching David Montgomery receptions.
How many carries did he have last week?
10. He had 10 the last 3 weeks.
That's too little for David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's game script specific for this week. They definitely want to run the ball. Will they? I don't know. Do not know. Juwan Jennings, hopefully they give him yards before the end of the week. Can't imagine we're taking a touchdown.
I would imagine that they put up 1.5 receptions and taking the over on it. Because we gave you Juwan Jennings last week. Taking it again this week.
Yeah, loved it. I was way overweight on Juwan Jennings. Overexposed to it. But paid off. Thank God. Jameson Williams. He continues to play pretty well. It's just hard for me to trust.
Lower.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to beat the Niners deep.
I'm taking lower on 4.5 targets. That seems like the easiest bet all show that we've talked about.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah. That is fair. Sam Laporta. I don't mind first downs for him. That's about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't love anything else.
48.5 doesn't feel like a lot, but Laporta's playing hurt. The San Francisco has good linebackers. Great. Yeah, I don't disagree. I am with you.
big game last week. I don't know. I think his numbers are a little overinflated, but given game script, I think they're going to have to pass. So it's weird. Don't love it. Josh Reynolds, I like the yards higher.
They love him.
Yards over targets?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. They're looking at him in the red zone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they look for him everywhere, but yeah, red zone, they like him. I mean, this has been Dan Campbell's guy since day one.
Like, I think, maybe I'm crazy on this, but I think he scores a touchdown over Amon-Ra.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Get a nice multiplier on it.
Can you go scroll up to Amon-Ra, just see what his is for rushing receiving?
Probably no multiplier.
125.
I like 2.25 much better than 1.25.
Yeah, I agree. Badgley, I'm not taking.
It's going to be a hot game. 7 degrees or something.
Well, like it's just I don't trust the Lions to kick.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's not going to kick if it's 4th and 5 or closer.
Yeah, or he'll go for 2. He'll do all that shit. Like I can't trust it. The Jake Moody, I can't trust him to make it, so I don't like that either.
Speaking of going for it, you guys have any strong opinions on DeMar Hamlin getting the fake punt?
So
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get why they did with 10 guys, but you give it to DeMar Hamlin.
So stupid. It's just dumb. Like it's too cocky. It's too cocky. You're not getting it to your best player, obviously.
Yep.
Greenlaw, I don't hate tackles and assists, but
you don't think it's going to be a letdown game for him?
No.
Okay.
No, I think it'll be around that number. It's a little too high. If it goes down to 7.5, I would love that. But overall, we know what the Lions want to do. So I like that. Anzalone at 7.5. I would go higher there.
100% agree with Anzalone.
Hutch, love that.
Yep.
Love the little run a half sack.
There's nothing else to prepare for than Hutchinson in the pass rush, right?
No. I mean, they did some pretty nice stunts last week in terms of they had some people drop out, and then it just led to Hutchinson being fully unblocked. They'll look at that, but
bro, like Tampa Bay left him unblocked like 5 different plays. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a communication thing. Like they were just unmanned, and it's just Baker has to get the ball out. Like there's going to be a free rusher. They have to account for the guy, and hopefully they come, and they didn't. And then, I don't know. San Francisco is too smart, though.
Yep.
They're way too smart. Lenore, not doing it. Fred Warner, I haven't played him really all year. I don't
either.
like it.
I have not made any money on him, so I'm staying away.
Yeah, Travarius Ward, Hargrave. I would go Hargrave, sack. I don't mind that.
I don't hate a Javon Hargrave 1.75 multiplier and a Josh Reynolds 2.25 multiplier for a 2-leg parlay.
Honestly, what would that be? Did I miss it?
Down.
I must have missed him. 11.8. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, throw $5 in there and you're golden.
I mean, honestly, let me do this really quick. Give me these kickers.
Sorry to sidetrack.
No, you're good. Let's make money. Okay, so we got a over 39 multiplier. I'll just put $3 on it for 118.
Yeah.
Not bad.
What are your thoughts on Brian Branch? 5 tackles. He's had 9 and 7 the last 2 days.
Well, they blitz him.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he plays in the slot. He's going to be moving all over. I don't mind it. I'm just trying to think how Detroit will use their personnel if the Niners get into just a straight up run at you mode. I think they have to keep Branch out there, though.
I think he has to be on the field.
Probably. I think they'll just say, best players on the field. They'll move him to a different position, maybe.
Let me ask you this: he has 1.5 assists? Does a half a sack count as an assisted tackle?
I don't believe so.
Okay, all right.
I don't think so.
Because I think he gets in the backfield at least once this game.
Yeah, they'll send him for sure. I don't hate Nick Bosa under total tackles.
Yeah. Like he's a star.
Yeah.
Stars show up in
Yeah.
playoffs. And like, yeah, I get it. I'm with it.
We're not even saying sacks though. We're
Right.
just saying tackles. Like I don't know why.
Like I think
would run at him.
If you want to pick any defensive lineman, I think the most value you get is 3 tackles from Nick Bosa.
You take higher on that though, or lower?
I think I would take higher just to go. Like I know Trevor, you like doing this, but you get the push at least.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I like the lower. Like I just don't see a game when he gets 4 tackles.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. I'm not sure. He could fuck up some screens to Gibbs and stuff, I suppose, but we'll see. Then Melifonwu, McNeil, I'm not taking.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I hate betting on defensive players.
It is what it is. We did it. And by the fact that I didn't get money added to my account during this means I lost my NBA picks.
Ooh.
I do believe I've been making good money, some wins on the first quarter lines, and I know at least 3 of my entries today were fucked up by the one and only. Everyone say it because we know who it's going to be. Rudy Gobert. Congratulations, Rudy Gobert. I would never play Chris Middleton. Rudy Gobert is fun to play just because, either I win or I get to bitch at him. All he had to do is grab 4 first quarter rebounds, and I think he got 3.
So speaking of the Timberwolves, like I'm like FLURRYSports.org. Check out the Timberwolves article I wrote. Like it's such classic that someone scores 62 points and they lose the game.
Yeah, for sure. Can't do it.
What fucking world do we live in where Cat scores 62 and Anthony Edwards scores 9?
I mean, that tells you why they lost.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop giving Cat the ball.
Yeah. Yep. I said it once before, but like, has anyone turned in from the next LeBron James to the best third option in the NBA more than Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah, that's fair. Stoof says over under 14 dribbles for Rudy Gobert tomorrow. I'd go under. I'd hammer the under.
No, I agree.
That was funny when he was in Utah or whatever. There was a time where it's like the amount of times that Mitchell passed the ball to him or whatever was less than something crazy.
It was right after you gave everyone COVID.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, I remember.
Never forget Rudy Gobert shut down the world.
Yeah, he has the blood of millions and millions on his hands.
Yep.
Did you see somebody signed a card for him for the Timberwolves, like a giant card for money he donated, and somebody wrote on it, COVID schmovid. Like Karl Anthony Towns' mom didn't die from it.
I mean, hey, fair point. I never really thought of it that way.
To be fair, the Minnesota Timberwolves is playing very good basketball. Check it. I'll say it again. Read my article. They are a good team. They're not the average Timberwolves this year.
No, but
it is
first half of the year. We'll see what happens. Am I expecting that they lose in the playoffs to the Warriors after the Warriors are dog shit right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Warriors will get in. Warriors will get in as a 10 seed and they'll upset the 1 seed. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, bingo. Like it seems automatic.
Right. You're right.
Steph Curry should be a Timberwolf. Then he'll just
get the
stab
fuck
it through their hearts. Dumb.
Stoof, Rudy Gobert created American recession. He's not wrong.
True.
If you had to pinpoint anyone who created an American recession within the last 5 years, Rudy Gobert has to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yep.
100%. He's the worst. And that's why we sold shirts that said super spreader on them with Rudy Gobert's face for a long time. If you still want one, if anyone wants one, I could dig it up, I'm sure. I know I definitely have some like weird sizes like available in a tote somewhere.
Hell yeah.
I could definitely send. But yeah, we will be back in a little bit here to talk about Lombardi sweep. We'll be talking about the Joe Barry firing. We'll be talking about last game for the Packers. We'll be talking about defensive coordinator candidates and anything else you guys mentioned in the chat.
Should we do some awards?
Might as well. What better time than now?
Let's make that its own show.
Okay.
We could. I mean, I will take nominations in the chat if people want to come back for sure.
I also anyone listening to the show, when we're on next week for Super Bowl picks. Let us know if you guys won money this week off our picks or what you picked, and let us know if you won any money or anything.
Well, I'll let you know we would have won a lot off our picks last year if Brandon Ayuk had fallen forward one more goddamn yard, but you know.
True. Next week we won't be doing Super Bowl because there'll be a week in between.
You think there'll be any Pro Bowl picks?
No, God, no. Fuck that.
Let's do Pro Bowl. Let's do Pro Bowl.
No.
What would it be though for flag football?
I'm not going to be here for doing Pro Bowl picks.
I got to be honest. I didn't watch the Pro Bowl flag football thing last year.
I'm a big proponent of Pro Bowl, and I know I'm in the minority. I love watching the Pro Bowl.
I like the old Pro Bowl.
Like what? How old?
When Sean Taylor was laying out motherfuckers?
Yeah, like early 2000s.
Yeah, see, great. I like 2019 Pro. Like I know I'm in the minority. I love the Pro Bowl.
I mean, we need to have competitions for everything. We need to have money, like as an award, for winning, which seems like an easy thing to do that they haven't really done. And then I understand not wanting to do contact, but
you have to do contact. It's football.
Yeah, pad them up more. I don't care. Put them in bubble suits.
Fun competitions. Like I don't want a kicking field goal for how many they can kick through the uprights. I want to see who can hit the most doinks in a row.
I think I disagree with that.
They did tic-tac-toe a couple of years back, which is pretty fun.
Tic-tac-toe's fun.
That was cool.
We need longest throw again.
Yeah.
Get Joe Flacco back in there.
I will say longest throw on record in NFL history is Aaron Rodgers, but nobody talks about that.
Is that true?
Yep. Like 73 yards or something.
Didn't Flacco do that at his pro day?
No, like in a real game. Rodgers like over a down drive or 73 yards or something.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I like the target passing thing.
You guys, I guess.
I mean, what Pro Bowl should be? Let's be honest. It should just be pros versus Joes.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
That's must watch.
They should bring an all-star team from like the UFLs that's coming up here.
That'd be fun. That would be very fun. Real football. Smash mouth. Let's just beat the shit out of them. Be like, hey, our league's the best. That's fun.
I also selfishly want to see Rex Ryan go through the tires and the dummies with the football in his hand. I think that'll be good television.
That'd be good.
I will say
Carroll would do it.
During the combine, Rich Eisen doing the 40 is probably the best part of the combine to me.
I agree. Favorite seafood?
Calamari.
Crab.
Calamari.
I think I'd go scallops or probably scallops.
Do you guys have picks for the games this week?
Chiefs, Niners.
Well, I'm going Ravens, Niners.
Ravens, Lions. Why not? Gotta believe, man.
Fuck Detroit. They've had their fun.
It would be a lot better for our business if Taylor Swift's in it.
Okay, I get that.
Taylor Swift's seats might shock you.
It's crazy that people are still bitching about Taylor Swift being shown. She was shown like twice last game.
I hated it both times. I kind of do get a little angry. I understand I'm wrong, but I'm just like, get her off a fucking. Let's just watch some football.
To be fair, Jason Kelce was awesome last week.
Loved it.
Yeah,
his wife being like, "Get the fuck back inside" is very funny.
Yes, for sure. And I love Skip Bayless's reaction to it as well.
Yeah.
If you didn't see his tweet,
God, classic Skip Bayless. It's the second time we were talking about him. He's fantastic.
You guys have any early predictions for the surprise team next year as Randy's coming in here?
Are the Chargers a surprise if they go on a run?
Yeah, I would say so.
No, they're picked every year.
Surprised, like a team that comes out of absolutely nowhere.
Like, is the Jets crazy?
I wouldn't say that's a surprise.
Okay. All right.
I think they should be good. I think Bears.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that train with you.
That's fair.
What about someone like
Falcons or Indy?
I was gonna say, like, are the Falcons a competent quarterback away from making a run?
Yes, and again, if Bill Belichick's there, which I assume he is, I can't imagine that would be a surprise.
That's fair. What about
especially
Washington?
In that division?
Washington, I think, has pieces. If they get a coach and they grab something. No, okay.
You know what they're missing?
Gotta play Dallas and Philly twice a year.
I don't think they're missing. Great.
I agree. They need Dan Snyder back. They're missing something.
Bro, that's like the Clippers need fucking what's his name back as the owner.
Oh, what's his name?
I can't even remember now.
I'm searching this up. I can't.
Yeah.
Pretty cool guy. He was. Whatever
Donald
happened to the
Sterling.
Suns?
Donald Sterling.
Yeah. That was alarming, I would say.
Crazy. That might be the craziest story in sports in the last 10 years.
Did
Also-
anything happen to the Suns owner?
No, that's what I was just going to bring up. Nobody talks about that anymore.
Nobody's talking about how Josh Giddey's case just got axed.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
also,
innocent.
I know
Good for
it's
him.
hockey, so I don't know if neither of you guys probably saw it,
Nope.
but there was a report that just came out that like 5 Canadian players that slowly left their NHL teams for personal reasons. They were being charged for sexual assault. Like 2 seconds later, NHL's like, "Hey, we might have a team in Salt Lake." It's like, Jesus, talk about burying the lead, guys.
Well, Trevor, to add on to that, nobody's talking about how Coach K, Roy Williams, and Jay Wright all left within a year of each other. You think something's going on there?
No shit.
Also, every year, every time a big coach retires, I hate Coach K that much more. He is the only one that was a bitch about his farewell. Nick Saban didn't do it.
I love it. Yeah, let's get fucking 30 balled in your last game at home.
And then to lose the Final Four to that team, he's got to be pissed at hell as hell at home.
Yes. He's not doing anything with Team USA, is he?
No, it's Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra and Mark Few.
We need to get rid of Team USA accomplishments from coaches. They aren't doing dick for that. We know
So
it.
stupid.
That's
In
fair.
2010 at Beijing or whatever, it was Kobe. It was not Mark or Mike or whatever the fuck his name is.
I think Giddey did win custody. He gets the kids.
No, Trevor, I agree. We're giving Coach K credit that a fucking lineup of Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard won a gold medal. What the fuck are we doing here?
You know what we should give credit to? Kerr for winning with Chris fucking Middleton and Drew Holiday being the 2 best players on the team. That shit's impressive.
Game.
Have they announced our 3-on-3 team yet?
No. We need
It's
Robbie
going to be
Hummel.
Robbie Hummel and 2 broke-ass white boys again.
How is Jimmer not playing in that?
I don't know.
What? I remember seeing him we got fucking Robbie Hummel? This isn't fair.
With 2 knee braces on in there?
He was the best player. God. Embarrassing.
All right. Tune in for Lombardi Suite for more basketball talk.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, we'll be back in a sec. Later.